Yes. So as we kind of roll into the holidays here, I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the market. And if you have been paying any attention, you know that 2021 into the first half of 2022 was one of the biggest bull markets New York City has seen in the real estate history of real estate here in the city. And we are quickly transitioning to a buyer's market. And that started somewhere around the second quarter of last year. And there's sort of like always a delay between the reporting of these things and the sort of traffic on the ground. And we should be solidly into a more buyer-friendly market in the first half of 2023. So with that in mind, what I want to do, I'm going to share this report with you, one of our weekly reports here. And this is a weekly snapshot from December 10th, 2022 to December 16th. The things I want to focus you on here was that there were 173 contracts reported signed last week, which is up 24% week over week, but 42% lower than last year. There's always a little bit of a bump in traffic in the first half of December after Thanksgiving and before, the sort of Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's holidays come in. So another thing that's important to note here is contract activities fell under 5 million, fell 37% annually, and sales over 5 million declined 81% year over year to a 7-week low. Okay, so this is just pointing out, especially the high end seems to be slowing down. Although I do know that because when you start talking about higher price properties, over 10 million, over 20 million, certainly, there's many fewer of them. So just one or two sales can really throw those numbers off. So don't necessarily give you the most accurate picture looking week to week. This is, I think, very interesting, though. Last week saw the highest number of weekly sales under 1 million since August, as over 50% of contracts were in that price range. This means that people are transacting in the lower end of the range in Manhattan. Okay. Interestingly, anecdotally, I've seen similar things in my own listings. A couple of one bedrooms that went recently, I have just closed, I should say, that went into contract in the fall. But I have seen that the lower end of the market move a little bit better than certainly the mid market and then the higher end of the market. So, you can see we've got, if you look over here, this talks about the product types and the price ranges and the submarkets. The key here is these numbers on the right-hand side in bold, down 42%. This is condos and co-ops and new development. Overall, down 42%. Over 5 million, down 81%. Total of the different submarkets, down 42%. We talked about that. The unit type is, again, we're talking 42%. You're just seeing down numbers. There are sort of different ways to parse that overall condo and co-op market. Okay. And then lastly, looking at this graph, you can see 2021 into 2022 as this lighter blue number. And you can see the divergence. It was right around April that, we started to see a drop in activity compared to last year for 2022. And now there's a pretty wide gap. If you go back and listen to my market talks from, probably May or June, sort of you'll hear me talk about that change in the market around that time because we were feeling it on the ground, even though the numbers still bared out a lot of sales that were still closing, et cetera. So I hope that's helpful. If you are a buyer, you should be sharpening your pencils and getting ready to pounce on things, good deals as they come available in 2023. I think that there's a strong feeling, possibility that the first 2 quarters of 2023 are going to be the best for the buyers. Although you never know, it really is hard to predict how the economy is going to go, how rates are going to affect the economy, et cetera, as well as inventory and still supply chain issues that we seem to deal with overall on a global scale. So any questions, talk to me. And I'm sure I will, if I don't say it again, happy holidays, and I hope everybody's doing well. All right.